Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. We are continuing the re-recorded anticipated releases, and once again, there's at least one book in here that will have already been released by the time this video comes out. So today we are going to do historical and Christmas releases first, and as always I will timestamp them. And there are some books in here I am very interested in. So first up, historical. And the very first book is one I am interested in. It is the second book in the Diary of a Country Nurse series. I have not read the first one. It is by Kate Eastham, and that is Changing Seasons for the Country Nurse. And I am very interested. It comes out the 22nd of August. In the quiet Lancashire countryside of 1936, city-trained nurse Laura Flynn must contend with far more than muddy lanes and boisterous farm dogs. Still recovering from a past trauma and an ill-fated love affair, she's determined to prove herself as a capable district nurse and midwife to a community that doesn't easily welcome outsiders. Yeah, I don't really need to know more than that. I am very here for this. Okay, next up releases the 26th of August. That is Murder at Arley by Alyssa Maxwell. This is the 13th book in the Gilded Newport Mystery book series. It is a cozy mystery, and I think I may have read one or two in this series. I am by no means current. Reporter, sleuth, and new mother Emma Cross Andrews comes to the aid of a distraught wife who's convinced her husband is trying to kill her. April 1903. Emma and Derek Andrews have been invited to the wedding of her cousin Reggie Vanderbilt and heiress Kathleen Nielsen at the Bellevue Mansion, Arley. Their hosts are a popular young couple who are leasing the home for the summer. Harry and Elizabeth Bessie Lear. Known for his practical jokes, Harry is the host of parties, earning a reputation as the court jester of the Gilded Age. However, as Emma soon learns behind closed doors, he is dead serious. Following the wedding, Bessie comes to Emma for help, insisting that her husband is cruel to her in private, telling her outright that he married her only for her money, and finds her repulsive. Divorce is unthinkable. Now she believes he is plotting to murder her and make it look like an accident. A broken balcony railing she might have leaned on. A loose stair runner that could have sent her tumbling down a staircase. Faulty brakes in the car she uses. Some would say being trapped in a loveless marriage is a fate worse than death. Not Bessie. She wants to live. Unsure if these situations are mere coincidences or add up to a premeditated sabotage, Emma agrees to investigate and determine if Newport's merry prankster is engaged in a cold-blooded game of life or death. Yep. I am very interested. I am not sure if this appeared in my mystery anticipated releases video. I will link it in the description box down below. This is A Whisper in Shadows by Darcy Burke. It is the 4th book in the Raven and Wren series. It will be available on Kindle Unlimited on the 9th of September. And the entire series is on Kindle Unlimited. A fake marriage, a supernatural secret, a deadly game of deception. Private investigator Matilda Wren is posing as the wife of Inspector William Maxwell from the City of London Police to infiltrate a burial club scheme. Maxwell is a skilled detective, but he isn't Hadrian. her usual ally and the man she trusts most. When the club's administrator is murdered, Tilda needs Hadrian's expertise, notably his uncanny ability to glimpse others' memories. That is all I want to read for that description because I'm very interested in that series. Okay, next up is The Austen Affair by Madeline Bell. This releases on the 16th of September. Sorry, I got those two out of order. Two feuding co-stars in a Jane Austen film adaptation accidentally travel back in time to the Regency era in this delightfully clever and riotously funny debut. Tess Bright just scored her dream role starring in an adaptation of Jane Austen's Northanger Abbey. It's not just the role of a lifetime, it's also her last chance to prove herself as a serious actress. No easy feat after being fired from her last TV gig. And more importantly, it's her opportunity to honor her mom, who was the biggest fan of Jane Austen ever. But one thing is standing in Tessa's way. Well, one very tall, annoyingly handsome person, actually. Hugh Balfour. No, go lay down. You, be quiet. A serious British method actor, Hugh wants nothing to do with Tess, whose Teen Choice Awards somehow don't quite compare to his BAFTA nominations. He was a type A, no-nonsense Royal Academy protege, where Tess is a big-hearted, little reckless, and admittedly kind of a mess. But the film needs chemistry, and Tess's career depends on it. If you are a Jane Austen fan, this is probably right up your alley. No, nobody wants to listen to you chatter. Go play with your toys. Go play with your toys. Next up is The Heart of Bennett Hollow by Joanne Bischoff DeWitt. This would have fit in the Christian fiction anticipated releases, so I will link that down below as well. This releases on the 7th of October, and I will read you a little bit. An Appalachian farmer's daughter and a wealthy businessman find surprising love, but must reckon with what divides them in this retelling of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Takes place in New River, Virginia in 1804. Next up is Sense and Suitability by Pepper Basham. This releases the 14th of October. And I will read you a little bit. In this clean Regency romance, a woman with a scandalous past and an even more scandalous secret swears off love, till the man who broke her heart needs her help. What could possibly go wrong? After 2 failed social seasons, her family may think the third time will be a charm. But Emmeline Lockhart just wants to survive with her dignity and singleness intact. She thought she found her perfect match in Simon Reeves. Charming, handsome, a veritable hero from a novel. Till he vanished from her life without so much as a farewell or my deepest regrets. Or even a vague apology scribbled on the back of a calling card. Lesson learned. Never fall for a man, no one for his charm. Fortunately, and unlike many other eligible ladies of the time, Emmeline has no need for a husband. She's already found success in her scandalous and very anonymous profession as an author. Why bother with matrimony when she can make her own fortune and write men exactly the way she wants them? As much as I enjoy Pepper's writing, I am skipping this one. It's clearly based on Sense and Sensibility, and, well, I'm not an Austen fan to begin with, and I despise Sense and Sensibility, so hopefully, if you like Sense and Sensibility, you will pick this one up and try it. Okay, up next is Introducing Mrs. Collins by Rachel Parris. This releases on the 4th of November, and I will read you a little bit. Best known as the beloved friend of Elizabeth Bennet, Charlotte Lucas finally becomes the heroine of her own story in this heartfelt and mesmerizing sequel to Pride and Prejudice. When Charlotte Lucas chooses security over romance, her eyes are wide open to the decision she is making. Marriage to Mr. Collins offers stability, if not passion, and she is determined to make the best of it. While Elizabeth Bennet turns away in judgment of her choice, Charlotte built a life in Kent, one of duty, routine, and quiet contentment. But everything changes when an unexpected visitor arrives at Rosings Park. A spark is lit and an impossible longing awakened. Again, it's not going to be my cup of tea, but it may be yours. Up next, yet another Austen-related novel. This is The Austen Intrigue by Julia Golding. It is the 4th book in the Regency Secrets series. It releases on the 28th of November. And I will read you a little bit. 1812 London. Up-and-coming novelist Jane Austen joins forces with London's most esteemed investigative duo, the actress Dora Fitz-Pennington and Dr. Jacob Sandys, to solve the brutal murder of a French count and his opera singer wife. The killer took his own life immediately after the crime. But who sent him and why? It doesn't sound horrible. It sounds the best of all of the Austen-esque ones releasing through the end of the year for me. But there's no, pressing need for me to read that one. Okay, up next is from an author I adore. I have not read anything of hers outside of her Amy Leduc series. And this is related to that. This is Huguette. It releases the 2nd of December. And it is historical fiction, and I will read you the blurb. After liberation, spring 1945, 17-year-old Huguette Farrier is a survivor. The war has taken everything from her, both her parents and her sense of safety. Now pregnant and on the lam, she cannot return to her childhood home in Paris. Forced to reinvent herself, she must outrun her father's enemies, who want her dead. After narrowly avoiding jail time, thanks to the help of a kind-hearted police officer named Claude Leduc, Huguette lands a job assisting a legendary film director. As her role develops from helping him with chores to cooking his books, she sees an opportunity to break free from the ghosts of her past once and for all. I will be reading this one. I love Cara Black's writing immensely. Okay, so the last book in the historical releases through the end of the year that caught my attention is The Mysterious Death of Janetta Plum by Valerie Wilson Wesley. This releases on the 16th of December. And it is looks like a cozy mystery. At the darkly glamorous height of the roaring 20s, an independent black intellectual and her biracial foster child are immersed in the vibrant world of the Harlem Renaissance and a shocking murder on Strivers Row. In this thrilling jazz-age mystery, 1926, Harriet Stone, a liberated, educated black woman, and Lovey, the orphan, biracial 12-year-old she is bound to protect, are Harlem-bound, embarking on a new, hopefully less traumatic chapter in their lives. They have been invited to move from Connecticut by Harriet's cousin, Janetta Plum, who runs a boarding house for independent-minded single women. It's a bold move, since Harriet has never met Janetta, but the fatalities of the Spanish flu and other tragedies have already forced her and Lovey to face their worst fears. Pickles. Pickles! Yes, I know, those are your toes. Alone but for each other, they have little left to lose, or so it seems as they arrive at sophisticated Janetta's impressive brownstone. Her cousin has a sharp edge, which makes Harriet slightly uncomfortable. Still, after retiring to her room for the night, she finally falls asleep, only to awaken to Janetta arguing with someone downstairs. In the morning, she makes a shocking discovery at the foot of the stairs. All right. Now for the Christmas anticipated releases for the rest of the year. We start off with a book that, when I originally filmed this, was being published today, which is the 18th of August. So I'm still going to include it on the list because it sounds interesting. So that is Death at the Village Christmas Fair by Debbie Young. It actually released today. It is the third book in the Cotswold Curiosity Shop mystery series. And I will read you a little bit. It's been a busy year for Alice Carroll, with her curiosity shop opening for business, and not one but two murders shaking things up in her quaint Cotswold village. She's looking forward to her first countryside Christmas, complete with traditional Christmas fair and Santa run. But her hopes for innocent, festive fun are thwarted when one of the Santa runners steals something from her mum's knitting stall. His festive outfit makes him hard to spot, till he's found fatally injured outside the village hall with a stolen item. Despite what the police say, Alice suspects there's more to his murder than meets the eye. She is determined to solve the mystery, including why, once more, a stranger thought something from her curiosity shop was worth killing for. So, that released today. Okay. Up next, this releases the 1st of September. That is Mistletoe and Mayhem. This is the third book in the Red Truck Mystery series by Janice Thompson. And I'll read you a little bit of the blurb. It is less than a week until Christmas in Maybank, Texas, and just a few days away from Raylyn and Mason's wedding on Hadley Ranch. Unfortunately, a wildfire with mysterious origin is rapidly traveling across several counties and headed right for the Hadley acreage. Firefighters rush to put it out before the family homestead goes up in flames, taking the business and the old red truck with it. The perfect wedding may be ruined, and Raylyn and Mason are determined to find the source of the fire. I know Amanda has enjoyed the first two books in this series, so there you go. Okay, I love this cover. Up next is Christmas at the Home Farm Vets. This is the second book in the Hartfeld Village book series by Suzanne Snow. Got these out of order too. This one releases on the 28th of August, and I will read you a little bit. 10 years ago, Erin had her heart broken by fellow vet student Ollie. Now, she's his landlord. All Erin wants is independence and security. All Ollie does is travel the world after locuming at practices for a few months. I have no idea what that word even means. Is it actually even a word? It's actually a word. It is a person who temporarily fills the duties of another. Okay, I learned something new. And, yeah, okay. So when he comes back into Erin's life, she knows it's temporary, no matter the lingering looks he gives her. With Christmas approaching, the vet practice is busier than ever, and Erin is surprised at how well she and Ollie work together to help the animals of Hartfeld. From sharing meals in her cramped cottage to meandering the village fair, the wall Erin has built around her heart begins to crumble. But Ollie's contract is coming to an end, and he is showing no signs of wanting to stay. Has she set herself up for yet another heartbreak from the only man she's ever loved? Or will she realize that being independent sometimes means relying on others, and security comes with taking risks? Yep, I need to read that one. Okay. Releasing on the 2nd of December is Once Upon a Christmas Carol by Melody Carlson. Are you serious, Ravel? It is 176 pages. Its Kindle price is $13. Its hardcover price on Amazon is $17.13. It's 176 pages. There's no mass market paperback version available. I'm sorry. I will not be reading this. I won't. Can a tropical escape from holiday blues turn her Christmas into a snowy wonderland filled with joy and cheer? Carol Langstrom hates Christmas. Growing up in a dysfunctional home with a birthday on the 25th of December and too many dashed childhood expectations, the holiday season is something she would rather avoid. And working in the design industry where she manages seasonal decor for wealthy entitled clients certainly hasn't helped. So this year, her goal is to flee to the Bahamas by herself. Bah humbug. But bad weather and God's radically different plan redirect her flight to +3 Michigan, where she gets stuck on her aunt's farm and discovers a different kind of Christmas. One wrapped in love, family, and holiday spirit. I have thoughts without even reading it, but I'm not going to voice them. You can imagine if you've been here a while. Okay, this is A Seaview Christmas by Julie Clausen. It is related to the Sisters of Seaview series, which I have not read. Releases on the 2nd of September. Apparently I did a very bad job sorting these in order. I apologize. This one is 238 pages. And its pricing is ridiculous too. And it's from Bethany House. And the Kindle is $19 and the paperback is $18.50 and the hardcover is $23.50. It's a novella. It's not even a full-length novel. What is going on in publishing? The holiday stirs up excitement as fondly remembered guests come to stay and acquaintances grow into more. With a promise to her youngest sister, Sarah Summers declares that this year's Christmas at Seaview will exceed all expectations. But an upcoming trip to Scotland and the prospect of becoming reacquainted with dashing widower Colum Henshaw blows flurry of doubts into her mind. Sarah has discouraged his attentions before, yet soon finds herself once again torn between attraction and duty as alluring thoughts of a second chance at love weave their way into her practical heart. Okay, up next on the 4th of September is Meet Me Under the Northern Lights by Mandy Baggett. And this one is 346 pages and it's a whopping $4. Can one kiss melt a cold, broken heart? When career-focused Chloe Bellamy is sent to Iceland on a last-minute work trip, it's her big chance to prove she deserves a seat at the top. But there's one problem. She may have embellished her CV a little, saying she speaks Icelandic when she doesn't. And now, to add to her woes, she's landed with no place to stay. Gunnar Eriksson has a habit of saving people. First, when he rescued a young boy from a volcano and offered him a forever home. Then opening his door and welcoming in a spirited yet accident-prone octogenarian. Now Gunnar has somehow tied himself to Chloe, who needs all the help she can get, but for some reason is reluctant to accept it. Yeah, I am intrigued. Next up, releasing on the 6th of September, is A Merry Irish Christmas by Claudia Murphy. And this is 239 pages. And again, much more recently priced at $4. An Irish romantic comedy with all the Hallmark vibes. A surprise visit home, an unexpected house guest, a Christmas she will never forget. Mary hasn't told her family she's coming home for Christmas. After breaking up with her boyfriend just before the holidays, she decides to surprise them and get a last-minute flight home. But when she arrives in Ireland after a long journey, she discovers her family have had the same idea and gone to New York to surprise her. To make matters infinitely worse, they've done a house swap with a grumpy but sexy New Yorker, Evan, who makes it clear he doesn't want her or her Christmas cheer around. Mary is determined to keep the festive spirit alive, so she proposes that she and Evan each get one day where the other has to do things their way. But can Evan put aside his grouchiness to embrace her proper Irish Christmas? And how will Mary cope with a day of sulking and moody walks on the beach? That just sounds fun and, if I'm in the mood for it, possibly. Next up is from an author I truly enjoy. That is Winter Nights at the Bookshop Bay by Jessica Redland. This releases on the 9th of September. And I love the cover. And I will read you a wee bit. Nestled among the comforting shelves of her beloved Bay books, newly single Lily Appleton finds the peace and quiet she needs. But with Christmas just around the corner, Lily has to find an extra pair of hands to help her share the book's magic. After selling his business, Lars Johansson is feeling like a character in a book awaiting his next plot twist. A job at Bay Books would give him the space he needs to contemplate his next move. He has fond memories of the bookshop in the Bay, but returning there would mean confronting a painful past he's been avoiding. It would also mean working with Lily, and he's fairly sure he's the one person she'd never want to see again. Sign me up. Next up on the 11th of September is Miss Winter in the Library with a Knife by Martin Edwards. I have read nothing by this author, but it is clearly based on the game Clue, which I loved, so I'll read you a little bit. 6 contestants, one chance at a new life. Who wouldn't be tempted to cheat? 6 down on their luck people with links to the world of crime writing have been invited to play a game this Christmas by the mysterious Midwinter Trust. The challenge seems simple but exciting. Solve the murder of a fictional crime writer in a remote but wonderfully atmospheric village in North Yorkshire to win a prize that will change your fortunes for good. Yep, that definitely sounds like something I would read. Next up is Christmas in Port Barry by Katie Daddy. This releases on the 23rd of September. And I know this is a series, but I don't know what number it is in the series. I've read nothing by this author, but I love the cover of this book. Alice Dimple is determined to make her first Christmas running Port Barry's Seaview B&B a success. But when her childhood best friend, Jamie Stark, unexpectedly returns after years away, the Christmas season suddenly feels a little brighter and a lot more complicated. Jamie was once the love of Alice's life, until a dreadful mistake tore them apart. He's returned to Port Barry for a fresh start, but didn't expect to bump into the woman he once lost, the only woman he has ever loved. Alice is determined to focus on her business, but Jamie is intent on proving he's changed and deserves a second chance. With the streets of Port Barry covered in snow and the town preparing for a festive wedding, both Alice and Jamie are forced to confront their past mistakes and the possibility that the love they once had might still be there. Okay. I also love the cover of this one. This is Christmas at Sturcombe Bay by Suzanne McCarthy. It releases on the 13th of October. 2 Broken Hearts, One Magical Christmas by the Sea. When Jess calls off her wedding just weeks before the big day, she escapes to the coastal village of Sturcombe Bay for a fresh start. Swapping wedding plans for Christmas preparation at the fading Carlton Hotel, she's not looking for love, until she meets Paul Channing, a rugged local with secrets of his own. Shelley doesn't let people in, not even at Christmas. But when kind-hearted Canadian pilot Daniel Crockholm steps in to defend her at the Carlton Hotel, his quiet warmth begins to break through her walls. With Christmas approaching, can Shelley believe she's worthy of the love she's always longed for? As fairy lights go up around the village and snow dusts the bay, Jess and Shelley must find the courage to let go of the past and discover that love often arrives when you least expect it. Okay, I believe there's one more. Yep, there's one more. And that is A Wonderful Christmas Crime by Jacqueline Frost. This is the 6th book in the Christmas Tree Farm mystery series, and it releases the 21st of October. I am not going to read too much. Innkeeper Holly White has a lot to be joyful about this season until an attempted robbery throws the town into suspicion in the 6th installment of the Christmas Tree Farm mystery series. As Christmas descends on Mistletoe, Maine, Holly White has an extra gift for the season, a new baby on the way. I'm done. That's all I need to know. I need to catch up with the series before this one releases. I think I'm on book 4. These are all very atmospheric and... Oh, I know. It's so awful, huh? Yeah, the chickens are still molting and they're just miserable. So, okay. That is Christmas and historical releases. And I believe that concludes the anticipated releases through the end of the year for me. Did you find anything that sounds interesting? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe. I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.